Hi, welcome for RTL Online Training and Placements. Today in this session, we are going to discuss how to hire a non-HCM employee and how to make that employee as a buyer, and then how to provide data access to that buyer to access the data, and which role is required to create purchase orders. Then we are going to write a query to get this information. So it's going to be useful, this video, for both functional consultants as well as for the technical consultants. So before going for, please subscribe for our channel, encourage us to provide more videos like this. And also if anyone is looking for training and placement, you can refer us, and we are going to provide a best training with real time and placement. Okay, so let's log into our applications. First, non-HCM employee is nothing but if client is not implementing the human capital management. Let's say client is okay with only financials, or if they are okay with supply chain management. Now in that scenario, obviously we will go for hire an employee from our FSM environment. If HCM is implemented, then we'll do it from here by using the role called human resource specialist role. But if clients are not going ahead with the HCM, obviously, then we are going for non-HCM employee. We'll do it from setup and maintenance. Go to setup and maintenance here. And once we go to here, we can go for either financials or procurement, anywhere we can find order management. The task name we'll find anywhere. We'll go to the task here, manage users. And once we go for manage users, here we will go for hire an employee. If we want to hire an employee, we need two organizations. One is legal employer, another one is business unit. It's mandatory, right? So I'm going to specify that here, Shivakumar, rate of gmail.com. I'm going to mention Shiva.Kumar. That's the username I'm going to specify here. Then we are going to make him as an employee. Choose person type as employee. Here we can find two mandatory, legal employer and business unit. I'm going ahead with US1 business unit and US1 legal entity. Of course, we can also use job, grade, department, location, and managers in case if we are configuring the approvals hierarchies, then we will be using this. Let's go for save and close. We have hired an employee successfully. Whenever we hire an employee, which table contains this information, we'll find the information in per person names underscore F underscore V. In case if we want to view that information, let me show you. So how we can connect with our database? We have to go to Navigator, Reports and Analytics. Go to Reports and Analytics. When we are working in the SaaS environment, we'll find only one place where we can connect with the database and we can write the queries. Let's go to Create and Report. Now it's going to open another window where the business intelligence environment is going to be populated. Sometimes this page, it may not be compatible with your browser. So what you can do is just minimize the size and say cancel it. Now I'm going to create a data model here. We can do it from here, or we can go for create menu data model. Here we can go for select data model and we can write query here. SQL query. We can choose any name. So employee underscore buyer report. I'm going to select financials and supply chain management. So the table name here is per person names. Select star from per person names underscore F underscore V, and we can find all the employees information here. Here we can find all the information, employees. But our employee, whatever we have hired, so that full name we have to write here, right? Or we can also use the who columns and specify what are the employees recently we have created. Where, sorry, order by creation date, descending order. Order by creation date, descending order. Here we can find this information, latest record. This is Shiv Kumar. This. And we will find the information here. This is going to be our full name, Shiv Kumar, right? This is how. What is the primary key here? Person ID. Person ID will be the primary key that we have to use. Okay. Next. Now employee is ready, and we are going to make this employee as a buyer. So let's go to setup and maintenance. I'm going to make this employee as a buyer. So how to do that? We'll go for procurement. What is the task name? Procurement agent. That's the name of the task we are going to use to make this employee as a buyer. Choose this task. We can make the employee as a buyer for multiple business units also. I'm going to make this employee as a buyer for US1 business unit. And what's the employee name? Shiv Kumar. And US1 business unit. I'm going to save and create another one. I'm going to make this employee as a buyer for Lenovo business unit also. Like this, the employee can be a buyer for multiple business units. Save and close. If we search here, we can find for how many business units he is a buyer. He is buyer for multiple business units. I just want to know which table contains this business units information and buyers information. Okay, so business units will find in the table called HR operating units. Then we will find the buyers is PO agent. That's the table name. HR operating unit will give us the list of business units. Let me write here. HR operating units. Let's go for table and query this record. We'll find Lenovo BU because that I did recently. Maybe someone might have created after this also. Yeah. They made it a lot of business units. They have done it. Okay. So this is how we can go ahead with our business units here. Right. Next, now we made employee as a buyer. Next, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to assign the role, agent access. Let me go to tools menu, security console. I'm going to assign procurement role for this buyer. Go to users tab, search for the user. Shiva. And we are trying to assign the role. Go for edit. I'm going to assign basic employee role because he is an employee of the organization. That's abstract role I'm going to assign. Then he is one of the buyer. So we can also go for add the buyer role, but not mandatory. It's not mandatory that we want to add the buyer. Next, procurement manager, because we want to create a purchase order. This buyer wants to create a purchase order. I'm going to assign procurement manager. So role has been assigned. Let me save and close and reset the password for this. Now this user information we can find in the table called _users. Here I can check that. _users. That's the table name, which contains all the users information. Just now we did, right? Shiv Kumar. The moment when we hire an employee, automatically the user account will be created. Where is this? Shiv Kumar. Let me go to table view. This is the user now. Created by which user? This user has logged in and created. Okay. So now this user, Mr. Shiva, wants to access purchase order. That's why we added the role purchase order functional area. They want access. We added the role called procurement manager. But if you want to create a purchase orders for both the business units, then we have to provide data access. Then we have to provide data access. Go to procurement. In procurement, data access is nothing but a business unit, right? So if it is GL model, we'll go for assign either ledger or ledger set, or we will go for assign reporting ledger like that. But when we are talking about here in procurement, it's going to be business unit. So go to the task manage business unit, data access for users, and choose your business unit. Or at a time, if we want to do it, let me select financials. From here also we can get. Here we have to change the scope every time. Both are same. Search for the data access, manage data access for users. And the username is here Shivakumar. Choose the username. And there is only one role which required the data access, because the buyer and employee both are abstract roles which will not expect any data access, because that's having standard functionality. Self information will be populated. Now we are going to mention this is going to be our business unit. Let me assign two business units, Lenovo BU, another one is US1 business unit, so that employee can log in and create purchase orders for both the units. Go for save and close. Once we provide the data access, let's go for LDA process, lightweight directory access protocol. We must run this process to synchronize the users and roles information which we have combined. Internally, this process. Sometimes this LDA process will throw the error message. No, don't worry. You can just log out and log in with that user. You will get it. Okay. So this PO agent access, nothing but a buyer access, we will find in the table called this PO agent access. Now I want to combine all this. I just need employee name, and for that, what is the username? What are the business units? He has got access buyer level and other levels. Active flag, we just wanted to know. So we know that agent ID is the primary key for buyer, person ID is the primary key for employee, and organization ID is the primary key for our agent access. This is a procurement BU ID. And from this organization ID, we are going to join. So let's take this particular query and try to write this. Go for data, and we'll be able to find all the records here. Now we are getting all the information, but I don't want all this data. I just need no, only my user. So what we can do is we can go for add another where condition. We'll try another filter here. So I'm just trying to access the data based on the users. For all users dot username equal to Shiva dot Kumar. That's what I'm trying to get it. But this is yeah, it's fine. Now we are able to get only one record, multiple records, because we given the permission for multiple records, right? This. So one is analyzation spend here, and this is the username. US1 business unit, another one is Lenovo business unit. Okay, so this is how we will go for write the queries for our buyer name, employee name, username, and the agent access. And the agent access here it is. Okay, let's go for practice. So this tables are useful for technical consultants, and the front end functional will be used for the functional consultant. Let me just try to log in and try to create a purchase order. Just sign out and let's confirm. I'm just trying to log in with the user Shivakumar. Enter the password here. We got the role here, procurement, and try to open this purchase order. We are going to check data access has been updated or not. Role is fine. Role has been updated. That's why we are able to get the menu. I think data access also has been updated, but let's see that. Create order. When we try to create a purchase order, I think Lenovo BU, I don't think so we will get because that is not defined as procurement business unit. That is not enabled, I think so. So where do we enable this business unit? Because we have to enable the setups for that, right? Configure requisitioning business function, configuring procurement business function. Those setups needs to be done. It seems someone has created Lenovo business unit. They have not done that, right? I'll show you where exactly we'll do the setups for procurement business unit. In FSM environment, we are supposed to do that. Let's go to user menu, setup and maintenance. And go to the task procurement and choose the task name called configure requisitioning business function and configuring procurement business function. When we try to do it, the procurement, all again, we have to perform setups here. So we are supposed to configure when you try to create purchase orders and all. For this B, what are the payment terms, which inventory? Again, it comes purely the functional part of that. Generally, we'll discuss that in our training, procurement training. It is just a short video I prepared how to hire an employee, how to make it as user, and how to make it as a buyer, how to provide the data access to the user, and then how we can write the queries to retrieve the information from the database. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to upload this file in the YouTube channel. Subscribe for this channel. If you have any friends, colleagues, inform to them, get subscribed to know more about information of the cloud and trainings and placement. Thank you.